If you want to create a one-of-a-kind DIY that is a true reflection of you, stay tuned. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Courtney. I am very excited for today's very special bonus video. A while back, I saw something on the Magnolia website and I absolutely fell in love with it. Now there are three things about this that I absolutely love. Number one, I can dupe it for way cheaper. Number two, it is a home decor DIY that will be a true reflection of me, which means you will be making this to be a true reflection of you. And last but not least, it is a multi-seasonal piece. So what's going to happen here is I'm going to take you through some tips and tricks on how to create this DIY. And since I said it could be a multi-seasonal piece, I kind of thought it might be fun that as the seasons progress, this might be something that we could do together as a live craft night where we pull together and update this home decor piece. So without further ado, let's get crafting. Here is what we will be duping. It is a shadow box that I found on Magnolia's website. The price point was $98 or $128, and I knew I could do it for cheaper. So I started my Google search to try to find a cheaper glass shadow box, and it put me on Amazon, and I found this great 12 by 12 gold glass shadow box. This particular shadow box did come with a little polishing cloth as well as some mounting stickers, which I thought was great. I will definitely link this down below for you if you want to pick one up. And don't worry, I've got a cheap and even cheaper way to put a backing in this. We'll do that in just a little bit. Now is the fun part, gathering up supplies so you can start creating your shadow box. Here are the items that I would look for either in your craft stash or at the craft store. Start with the seasonal department at your craft store, looking for small signs and florals. Those are great places to start. You can get small, you can get larger, and kind of make those your anchor pieces. Also check out stickers. Now stickers aisles typically have more than just flat stickers. They've got 3D stickers. There tends to be a lot of kind of trinkets and elements, flowers, different gemstones, rhinestones. So definitely just look for those different types of elements. You want to find different textures, colors, sizes, shapes. You just want a huge variety. You'll also want cardstock, scrapbook paper, and just check out the variety. Get those textured papers. Get those ones that are just a little bit different. Now, jewelry isn't just for wearing, so definitely check out the jewelry section. Charms are a great thing to add to shadow boxes. You can really customize your box this way. There are so many different kinds of charms, whether it's relating directly to you or perhaps the season that you're creating your shadow box for. Now, don't skip the fabric department because this is what is going to set the tone for your shadow box. You can pick up seasonal fabrics, neutral fabrics, fabrics for all occasions. Also check out all those little sewing notions like buttons and all the little extra things that they have in the fabric department. Those are great pieces to have that you can just add here and there in your shadow box. And of course, having ribbon is a must-have. Ribbon is just a great little filler piece that when something needs just a little bit of something to it, then you can add some ribbon. Now, if pressing your own fresh flowers isn't your vibe, definitely check out the floral department. Grab some flowers. Those are such easy things to add to a shadow box. Another little area that you want to check out is dollhouse miniatures. There are so many different little miniatures there that more than likely you might find just that perfect little thing that you need. And finally, the stationery aisle has all kinds of great things from vellum envelopes to bookmarks to stamps. That is a great aisle to visit to find a few little things for your shadow box. I created some fun things to put inside the shadow box. You can grab these down below in the description box. Now let's start creating these projects. Starting with this tiny little printable of a spring house that I printed on cardstock. You can grab it down below in the description box. I grabbed one of these frames that I had in my stash. You can also grab these down below in the description box as well. It was a little bright gold and I wanted to tone it down just a little bit. So I grabbed some Rub and Buff and I painted it all over, and I absolutely am loving how it looks. While I wait for this rub and buff to dry, I think I'm going to occupy my time by playing my new favorite game, Angry Birds Dream Blast. To get started, download Angry Birds Dream Blast on your iOS or Android device, and you are on your way to play this fun and challenging puzzle game. So how do you play? It's easy. You want to blast the dream bubbles so you can beat the obstacles and get to the end. Just tap groups of matching bubbles to pop them. With that, you'll clear the level and continue advancing ahead. Along the way, you'll interact with cute birdie characters. There are thousands and thousands of levels of brain-teasing puzzles to solve, so there's always new content waiting for you. There is also fun themed events that happen frequently, so the game always feels fresh. And guess what? There is no need to watch ads. That's right. So the bubble popping fun doesn't have to stop. So if you are looking for a fun way to take a break and unwind, definitely give Dream Blast a try. You can find the link down below in the description box or scan the QR code here on the screen. Well, the rub and buff is dry, so let's get back to our project. Here I just wanted to show you the quick comparison of the bright gold frame and the heart, that's what it looked like before, and the rub and buff version. To finish up this project, all I had to do was trim down my tiny little portrait. To get it attached to the frame, I simply used some hot glue in the four corners of this picture, just kind of smushed it on there, and then this piece I could set aside and start working on my next one. For my next little creation to put in my shadow box, I printed out this spring phrase on some vellum that I just used my regular inkjet printer to print out. I also grabbed that pink piece of scrapbook paper. I trimmed down the vellum piece, and then I kind of just eyeballed by putting that vellum on top of the pink scrapbook paper, and I trimmed that down. Now, to get the vellum attached, I used my tape roller and just quickly adhered it that way. As far as the push pins, I'm going to be using some of my pearl push pins, but they were a little long. So while you are working with pins, just get some little wire snips and you can shorten the length of your pins very, very easily. And I just put 4 of my little pearl pins, and that's going to be how I attach that into my shadow box. Now I'll be working with this bee print. So this little bee is printed on cardstock. I'm just using my regular scissors to very carefully cut it out. Then I took that textured scrapbook paper and I cut a square that was larger than the bee print. I attached my bee print to it with just a little bit of hot glue. And for this one, I decided to just kind of rip around the edges. I just kind of wanted a rough look. Again, remember when you're starting to assemble this, you just want all kinds of looks. So I ripped around the edge of it and I love how it turned out. For the sheet music print, I simply cut that one out and left it as is. For the bookmark, I grabbed one of these textured sheets of paper and I trimmed it down so it was a little bit smaller than that actual bookmark. Then I took my curved blade scissors and rounded off the corners of that cardboard bookmark. Once that was done, I just poked a hole in it with my awl. You certainly could use a hole punch. And I ended up attaching that little heart jewelry charm that I picked up, and I paired that with some white and chiffon ribbon. I did tack down that piece of textured paper that I had to the cardstock bookmark just so that it was a little more secure. I grabbed the spring print and I trimmed it down, grabbed my curved blade scissors again, rounding those corners, grabbed my awl again, poked 2 holes, and then I grabbed a piece of that pink chiffon ribbon. I threaded through and I tied it in a double knot. I do end up actually adding a bow. For the little basket that I picked up and those little flowers, I just wanted to make this a little flower basket. So I took some brown paper from Dollar Tree and I just stuffed that towards the bottom. And then then taking some hot glue, I just started gluing the flowers in there until I liked how it looked. These little kind of trinkets that you can put at the bottom part of your shadow box, don't forget about that space. You can put little figurines there, little rocks, little dried flowers. So don't forget that you do have space at the bottom of your shadow box to add more personality to your decor. Another way to fill up a space on your shadow box is just to take a piece of cardstock. Now, I cut mine in a heart thinking I was going to try to shape these flowers that way, but it didn't necessarily happen. And then just glue some florals to it. And what this does is that cardstock allows you to have something that you can use to pin these florals down easily, especially if you're cutting them apart like I am and they're smaller pieces. Trying to individually pin these on there would be pretty tricky. So by attaching them to a piece of cardstock, it makes it super easy. And this is a great way to fill in those little spaces that you might just need a little something extra. Now, the last thing I wanted to make for my shadow box was something else that I could rest at the bottom of it. So I decided a small little bouquet of flowers wrapped in brown paper would be the perfect thing. This is so easy. Just grab yourself some of this brown paper. I just have this roll from Dollar Tree. You want to make a cone with it and secure that down. Then grab whatever dried flowers or florals. I really wish I had some dried flowers because I think that would just take this to the next level, but for now I'm just using some florals I had in my stash. Put those in there, and then I finished it off with a bow tied with some brown twine, and voila, you've got yourself a little bouquet of flowers. Here is the moment you've been waiting for. So here is our shadow box. Now you'll notice it doesn't have a backer. An easy and the cheapest way to make a backer is to grab yourself some Dollar Tree foam board. You can trim it down and attach your fabric to that, and voila, you've got yourself a backer. Now that was my original plan until I happened to find at Hobby Lobby this 4-pack of 12 by 12 cork tiles, and I knew that I could easily grab this, cover all 4 of them with different types of fabric, and then I can change them out as I want to. So now let's start creating this shadow box. I grabbed this neutral fabric from Hobby Lobby. The first thing I did was just give it a quick press with my mini heat press to get out the wrinkles. I also made sure to kind of press along the edges of it. That way it would kind of crease a little bit so that when I go to spray my adhesive, it makes it a lot easier to attach. So once it was pressed, I simply took some spray adhesive, sprayed it all over my cork tile, and then I pressed my fabric down on top. Then I flipped it over and I started by pulling one side. I put a little spray adhesive, of course, and then pulled that side. Then I did the opposite side, sprayed a little adhesive, pulled the side, and I did all 4 sides. The corners I did last, and all I did for that was just give them a little bit of a fold and just use extra spray adhesive to get that push down. I did not use hot glue because I did not want this to bulk up, and I wanted my backer to lay very flat against my shadow box. With this completed, I was ready to put my backer inside the shadow box. Now just keep in mind that if yours doesn't fit snugly, you might want to put some mounting tape on the bottom of your shadow glass so that when you stick this in, your backing won't bubble a little bit, but mine was a perfect fit. Before we start arranging all of our things, I just wanted to show you some of the push pins that I have. I have ones with pearls. I have a multicolor pack. I've also got some hooks as well. And then of course these kind of T pins. And all of these I've acquired from Amazon. Again, I will link them all down below. These are just a great variety to have. Now let's start arranging the shadow box. that is going to wrap up today's video. Let me know down below if you like this style where it's concentrating on one DIY with a little bit more of tips and tricks. If you liked it, drop down suggestions below. Would you like a wreath one, maybe floral arrangement? Also, let me know if you're planning on making a shadow box. Thank you so much for watching. Here are some more videos you might enjoy, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!